Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today my groupmates and I are going to present about some paralinguistic and non-verbal features. But before that, I'm going to give a short overview of the talk that we chose from TEDx Talk, which is How to Sound Smart in Your Talk by Will Stephen. Based on the talk, the speaker gave some tips on how to sound smart in a talk or speech. He gave some simple but effective ways on how to do it, even if the content of the talk has absolutely no meaning. Firstly, he told the audience to use a lot of hand gestures during the talk. For example, he asked the audience a question that resulted in showing of hands. Other than that, he also suggested to talk about our personal and amusing anecdotes to attract the audience to listen to our talk. Last but not least, he mentioned that we can engage the audience by using some interesting projections to enhance our credibility and to make ourselves appear more knowledgeable. Now, Sarania will be presenting on the first paralinguistic feature, which is stress.
Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon, everyone. So, the paralinguistic feature that I have chosen is the stress pattern. So, stress pattern actually means a word that is emphasized during the sentence. Stress actually gives a rhythm or a beat to the sentence that we are trying to convey to the audience. And stress pattern also helps the audience to catch the main points, the main ideas that we are trying to convey it to the audience. So the first time reference that I have chosen, which emphasizes the stress pattern, is from 156 till 159. So let's watch the video.
What this man did was important, I'm sure.
Okay. So from this scene, we can see that the speaker is stressing the word important in the sentence. So the intention of the speaker to emphasize the word important here is to make sure that the audience know that the picture of the scientist that he showed during his talk has accomplished something important. Although the speaker did not mention what the achievement of the scientist was, because of the stress that he made there, the audience get to know that this scientist has actually achieved something very important. So for the second time reference is from 320 till 320 to 325. So let's watch the video.
This pie chart, what you're going to see is that the majority far exceeds the minority.
Okay, so from this scene, we can see that the speaker stresses the word far exceeds. So when he was presenting his pie charts, the intention behind the stress of far exceeds words are the speaker is helping the audience to understand that the majority is far exceeding the minority. In case the audience gets lost in the middle of the talk, the stress made by the speaker will actually help the audience to understand much more better and catch the points made by the speaker. So the stress made there helps the audience to understand that the pie chart shows that the majority far exceeds the minority. So for the final time reference that I have chosen that portrays a stress pattern is from 440 till 443. So let's watch the video.
It feels like it might make sense, doesn't it?
Okay. From this scene, we can see that the speaker is stressing the word feels. So the intention of the speaker is to make the audience to feel and think carefully before making a judgment. The entire talk of the speaker is trying to convey that confidence is much more important compared to the contents that they are trying to share in a TED talk. So the stress in the word feels in that scene allows the audience to question themselves whether the fact that was given by the speaker is true or is it not. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Irfan, and I will talk about the other non-verbal feature, which is intonation. In brief, intonation is the melody of language and is made of pitches that rise and fall. It is used to communicate our intentions, emotions, as well as to replace punctuations. Based on the talk presented by Will Stephen, there are three intonations found in his talk that portrays different intentions. So let us look at the first scene with the time reference 1 minute 14 seconds until 1 minute 16 seconds.
By show of hands, how many of you all have been asked a question before?
In this scene, the speaker lowers his voice to ask a question to the audience about a hand gesture. The intention of the speaker in following his tone of speaking is to find out the number of people who have been asked a question before, and he looks out an answer from the audience regarding his question. Next, we move on to the second scene with the time reference 4 minute 14 seconds until 4 minute 42 seconds.
Things. And see, it feels like it might make sense, doesn't it?
In this scene, the speaker raises the pitch of his voice in his question in this sentence. And see, it feels like it might make sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it? The intention of the speaker in raising his voice in his question is to stress out the things he has been saying makes sense and hoping an answer from the audience which is either a yes or a no. And lastly, we move on to the last scene with the time reference 5 minutes 49 seconds until 5 minutes 52 seconds.
Now I'm going to stop talking.
In this scene, the speaker lowers his voice as he is about to end his talk in this sentence, and now I'm going to stop talking. And now I'm going to stop talking. His intention is to make the audience clear that his talk have reached an end, and it indicates that he is about to leave the stage. So that's all from me. I will pass the presentation to the next speaker.
Hi, I'm Syafiqah, and now I'm going to explain about the next paralinguistic feature, which is pauses. Pauses is an interval of silence, and it can be used for several reasons. For example, it can be used to enhance the message delivery, to create effective suspense, or to prepare the listeners to receive our message. Now, let's watch the pauses that the speaker used during the talk at time reference of 1 minute and 13 seconds to 1 minute and 17 seconds.
You all a question. By show of hands, how many of you all have been asked a question before? Okay, great.
Based on the video, the speaker pauses for 3 seconds after asking a question to the audience. This short pause gives the audience time to think and digest the question before they can think of an answer. This will encourage the audience participation during the talk. Now, let's watch the pauses that the speaker used in the next time reference, which is from 2 minutes and 17 seconds to 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Buying time. Now,
based on the video, the speaker pauses after each of 3 words in this sentence, which is me buying time. This technique is used to emphasize the key idea by using action phrases. He also used memorable rhythm, which can be memorized by the audience for a long period of time. Alright, now let's watch the last pauses that the speaker used in this video, which is at time reference of 5 minutes and 36 seconds to 5 minutes and 41 seconds.
I'd like you to think about what you heard at the beginning. And I'd like you to think about what you hear now.
Based on the video, the speaker uses a reflective pause by requesting the audience to think about what they have heard at the beginning of the speech. He used this technique to let the audience to think and reflect all the information given by him. Thus, the audience can give a structured response to him. That's all from me. Thank you.
For my part, I will explain about non-verbal feature, which is body gesture that showed by the speaker from the video. So, firstly, from the time reference, from 1 minute 23 seconds until 1 minute 40 seconds. Okay, so from the scene, we can see that the speaker did the head movement in between during gift talk, such as nod, tail, and bow. So this gesture is just to make the presenter have some time to think the word or sentence that he want to talk before continuing it. So the next time reference is from 3 minutes 90 seconds until 3 minutes 29 seconds and 4 minutes 9 seconds until 4 minutes 11 seconds. Okay, so from the scene, the speaker is pointing his hand to the slide while giving a talk. So this is to ensure the audience look out the slide because there is an important point that is highlighted by the speaker. And the last body gesture, the time reference is 40 seconds until 1 minute 12 seconds and 2 minutes 20 seconds until 2 minutes 25 seconds. So from the scene, the speaker used a lot of hand gesture during giving a talk. So this intention to make his more confident when time talking, plus can attract attention from the audience to focus on him. So that's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello guys, today I want to talk about one of the paralinguistic feature that the speaker used in his talk, which is fillers. So let's move on to the first fillers that he used. Actually, he used quite fillers in his talk, but today I want to show you 3 fillers. So let's move on to the first fillers he used.
Something to endear myself a little bit. Something kind of embarrassing.
Okay, let's see one more.
Something kind of embarrassing.
Okay, as you can hear, the speaker says something kind of embarrassing. So in between kind of and embarrassing, he used a filler word, which is so his intention. He used the filler words to show his hesitation to say the word embarrassing. So let's move on to the next filler he used.
Now, to add more filler here, I'm going to give you a couple more numbers to consider. 18. Now, to add more filler here, I'm going to give you a couple more numbers to consider. 18.
Okay. The speaker is trying to say a couple of random numbers. He says, I'm going to give you a couple more numbers to consider, 18, and so on. So before he mentioned those numbers, he used a filler word, which is So his intention, the speaker is thinking of the numbers that he is going to say. That's why he used the filler word, which is So let's move on to the third filler words. Let's see, okay.
Things. And see, it feels like it might make sense, doesn't it? Like maybe, just maybe, I'm building to... Feels like it might make sense, doesn't it? Like maybe, just maybe, I'm building to some sort of...
Okay. As you can hear, the speaker asks a question to the audience. So right after that, he says, like maybe, just maybe. So he is predicting the answer that the audience want to give. He started his sentences with a filler word, which is like. So in this case, the speakers tried to predict the answer by the audience. So he used the filler word, which is like, to show that he is uncertain with his own prediction. So the word likes also followed by maybe, which is strengthened the fact that he felt uncertain about his answer. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.